Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelorette Recap, a guy's review premiering June 7th, 2021. We'll see you out there for that. As you guys know, pretty crazy week. Happy Friday morning to you. We've got more Colton Underwood reactions to his coming out to Robin Roberts on Good Morning America just several days ago. I've gotten a lot of requests for the conversation between Demi Burnett and Rachel Lindsay. I can only play a portion of this interview, but I will recap the rest of it for you. So let's play this clip and then talk about it.
You speak a little bit about the courage and the bravery it takes to make that type of announcement in today's world.
That is something that I definitely commend Colton on, is that it was very hard for me. It's terrifying, and Bachelor Nation, as far as the fan base, a lot of them are not very accepting of different things. It was a nightmare for me. I was disappointing everyone. People were very upset with me, but I could take it. I really feel for Colton because it must be really, really hard for him, because there's so many people in the fan base that are just very ugly about different things like that, about anything that's different or unfamiliar to them and they can't relate to. So I can't imagine how scary it must be to be like, yeah, you know what? I was a bachelor. I dated 30 women, and I'm still going to come out here and say, you know what? I figured out that I am gay. Like, that is hard. So
Yeah.
I definitely feel for him right now.
You speak a little.
All right, so there it is, folks. That's the clip we can play. They start the interview off kind of funny, where Rachel Lindsay says that she was shocked by this news. You know, a lot of people have said, oh, yeah, I knew all along, this and that. That's like the thing people want to do. Everyone wants to be that hipster who's like, oh, yeah, I liked skee ball before it was cool again. Oh, I knew Colton was gay before everyone knew. It's like, who cares? Listen, if a friend tells you he's straight, you believe them. And when they come out of the closet, you believe them, and then you hug them. You know what I mean? It's someone's personal journey. So Demi didn't know that he was gay, which is interesting because she came out as bisexual. I think during the Bachelor in Paradise season. Correct me if I'm wrong, but after her season as a contestant on Colton's season. So there she is, bisexual, living sort of a either knowing she is and isn't open, or still coming to terms with her own sexuality. And there Colton is convincing himself he was straight. And Demi says she doesn't hold him accountable to the fact that he led people on during his show. She was like, look, the guy didn't know, his own truth. You can't hold him accountable for that. I mean, he didn't know. Like, he thought he had known. He thought he had known since he was 6, but he lived in such denial that that's just where he was at. And, unless you're in a position like that, you can't truly understand. Demi said that Colton unfollowed her, which is very interesting because, of course, you can congratulate Colton for coming out, but then you can also hold him accountable for what happened with his ex, Cassie Randolph. And as we know, you guys have followed every video, he stalked and harassed her and made her life kind of miserable during their breakup. He was caught at 3 a.m. in her alleyway by her brother. Cassie Randolph's brother, found a tracking device under the trunk of her car. Colton Underwood created text messages from a random number and said, like, I know where you are. He was very manipulative and fear mongering and I know your truth type of thing. I mean, real wild things out there. Extra TV has reported that days after the star found out, Cassie Randolph is vacationing in Mexico with her family. Good for her. Get out of the country. I mean, do whatever you can with COVID protocol. Don't drink the water. But you don't want Montezuma's revenge. But she got the Colton Underwood revenge, which is like the story that just doesn't end for her. She's like, I thought we settled this. I thought I dropped the charges, and now she's brought up in the conversation again. And rightfully so. So Demi says that Colton unfollowed her because she was Team Cassie. And Team Cassie in this scenario means team common sense, holding someone accountable for a crime that they committed. The crime, of course, was the charges that he was facing, that he placed a tracking device on her car, which can serve up to a year in prison. It's a heavy thing, violating somebody's freedoms to be alive and not feel like they're being monitored by another civilian. We only let the government monitor us. Get on your Instagram and geotag your way all around town. Everyone's worried about vaccines monitoring us. It's like, well, I think we got our vaccine right here. All right, so I digress. Yeah, she is. I mean, because she was, Demi was one of the women of Colton's season, and a lot of them have come out and congratulated Colton on this new journey in his life, and that's kind of what you have to do. But of course, she's one of the few people that's still tight within Bachelor Nation that's also calling him out for this nonsense. Now, I've never had a story where we're all on the same page as much as this, and I think that's because a lot of you guys have found me originally from covering this Colton Underwood story in the late summer. This like broke late August, early September 11th or some wild. It was wild, right? It was wild. So when this story broke, a lot of you guys found my channel, and we've been covering it. And I don't have many people that disagree with this, but I did get a comment from somebody that said that someone said that they were a victim of domestic violence, and this isn't domestic violence, and it's triggering to them for me to talk about it and discuss it as domestic violence when they experience true domestic violence. And all I can say to that is, and again, I guess this is a linguistics issue, a battle of semantics here, but domestic violence isn't always about the bruise that's left on you in the physical world. Colton Underwood left a bruise on Cassie Randolph in places that the public can't see. So you look at her and you go, she's beautiful. She's got everything going for her. She's moved on. Move on, Dave. She's moved on. We can't speak for how someone moves on, and we can't speak for what sort of, traumatic stress, comes with somebody after an issue like this. Plenty of people that I know in my life are dealing with trauma from decades ago because of the way they were treated in the domestic violence that they faced. The people that didn't believe them, how they thought they couldn't come out to their friends, how they thought they had no one to talk to, how alone they felt. You've got people calling 911, ordering pizzas because their abuser is in the same room and they don't have anyone to speak to. These issues are real. Domestic violence isn't just someone slapping you across the face or whatever other issues. It's a wide range of things, and it's about time it's spoken about in a way where we can label exactly what it is. And this is exactly what Colton Underwood did. Now, he has spoken about that he was trying to grapple with his straightness. Plenty of people have called in. Andy in Vegas and other people have called in. We had Skip in California, several different gay men. They talked about their coming out experience. Plenty of people have called in and said that they never put a tracking device on their ex-girlfriend's car because they were grappling with coming out of the closet. Now, don't get me wrong. Different, everyone's got their own issues that lead to a certain thing. I think if Colton was strong enough to talk about this and authentic enough to talk about what got him into that alleyway, what got him to purchasing the tracking device, or defending himself if he wasn't the one who did that. We still live in a world where innocent till proven guilty. But with the charges dropped, that doesn't mean he's innocent. Dropped charges doesn't equate to innocence. It just means he's innocent till proven guilty, and they've dropped the proof that they were going to put against him. And now as a public, we're left to piece it all together. I'm allowed to have my opinions that he did all this. You're allowed to not. But the point is that he's not vindicated. Now, if he wants to be vindicated, he would have to come up and say, I didn't do that, and he would have to fight that case, and he's not willing to do that. He's a coward, to be honest, because and I'm sure he's got people, a PR, speaking to him because everyone wants to make money off of this. You understand? They knew they were going to create this wave with this news, so they spent the last couple months building the best surfboard they could. The publicist, the management companies, Netflix, everyone that was in on this, they're all in cahoots, and until they share this story, if they want to keep waiting to share this story, they're going to pay a price. This is just like how, Chris Harrison and the Bachelor team wanted to wait to share Rachel Kirkconnell's story, and they created a wildfire. Well, what did that get you, Chris Harrison? A little extra personal time in Texas. That's what it got you. So the issue here is grappling. You've had 6 months to figure out that you're gay and come out of the closet. So clearly you've done a lot of evolving with regards to who you are as a person. Well, why don't you take it to the next step and talk about who you are in the past and what got you to such a desperate and sad place where you stalked and harassed your ex-girlfriend. We would love nothing more than you to own up to that. And I'll be the first to forgive you if you go along that path. So Demi says that Colton could have done a better job with the way he apologized to Cassie Randolph. Obviously, he had a blanket apology. I'm sorry for all the hurt that I caused. Yeah, do me a favor, Colton, because you're going to be in the dating world. Get in an argument with your significant other. Do something that they disagree with and they feel really bad. And then go to that person and say, I'm sorry for all the damage that I caused. It ain't going to work, Colton. You need specifics. You need line item. I like to look at it right at that point. I like to find a point if my fiance is upset, if something went wrong, and I don't think I did something wrong, I like to look at the exact moment and go, you know what? I was a little stressed. I was anxious, and I responded to you very abruptly, and it was at that, and I find that exact moment. And if you can find that exact moment you did something wrong, then the other person can go, he gets it. He understands why I feel the way I do. I'm validated in feeling my feelings. Colton, why don't you let Cassie feel validated in feeling her feelings by explaining exactly what it is you did wrong? And it might take you a little bit. You might have to write it down. You might need to put some timestamps on it. You know what I mean? Spend as much energy working on your apology as you did putting together a fake phone number when you harassed yourself and Cassie, when you did that weird thing that you did in the alleyway. So spend as much time working on that apology, and then maybe, and just maybe, we can champion you along the journey as you continue moving forward with your new life. So anyway, folks, that's all I got for you guys. Did we cover it all? I wanted to also give a shout out to Cassie Randolph because in the interview, Demi had said that Cassie shows up. She said she's one of the best. You know, we all know you put 25 people together, you're going to have friendships and fake friendships and pseudo friendships. It's like a family. If you got your siblings, you got your cousins, you know. So there are people within the Bachelor community, just like you and I, who have their friends that they can count on, and then their friends that just show up for that shiny Instagram photo in Nashville. You know what I mean? So with someone like Demi, I appreciate her authenticity so much. I appreciate the struggle she's gone through. I appreciate the way she owns up to all of her mistakes immediately and wants to be a better person. She's a breath of fresh air in the Bachelor community because, and I'll use Madison as an example. You know, you see Madison, you see the family with the beautiful house and all the white teeth, and they just look so perfect, and you just wonder what sort of adversity they faced in life. You know what I mean? And maybe they did, and maybe we just don't know their story because everyone has their own challenges. But then you see Demi, a mom who went to prison. You immediately start to empathize with her in a way that's like, oh, this is a fighter. Demi's this person who fights. And she seems like the real deal. So whenever she has an opinion with anything regarding Bachelor, I'm always listening to her because I really think she's authentic and speaking her own mind. So I appreciate that from her. And I appreciate what she said about Cassie, that Cassie's one of the real ones. She shows up. She'll cross town to come to a birthday party. You know, living in Los Angeles, Tasha and I, we know those friends that we have that'll never do anything for us. We know who shows up when it's moving day. You know what I mean? It's one of those things you don't call the person out and go, "Oh, you really weren't really weren't in town when I needed you." But you take notes and you go, "Oh, okay, you want me to come to your birthday in Malibu? Nice. Well, you didn't come to our last 5 birthday." You know, it sounds petty, but you just know. Leave a comment. Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? Do you have those relationships with people where you're like, it's not exactly a friend of me. It's just like, you should, whenever you expect too much out of someone and they don't deliver, you have to lower the bar or they'll constantly undervalue, you know, they'll constantly disappoint you. And those people just exist in life, and those are your fringe friends, and they'll be with you while they're with you, and when the time's not right, they'll be gone. And for Demi to mention Cassie shows up and makes you appreciate who she is. I hope Cassie has a wonderful time in Mexico. I hope you guys all have a fantastic Friday. I got a lot of content coming your way, so definitely hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already, check out my vlog channel. I just released my 3rd vlog yesterday. It's called Dave Neal Vlogs. I'll post a comment in the description. I'll also post a link to this full interview if you guys want to check it out. We'll see you later on. Bye, everybody.